you start looking at a larger scope of what's going on. And then you start running into the scales that you're seeing, the auto-scaling issues that result in a large, massive amount of telemetry coming your direction. These senior people are the ones that are in charge of trying to figure out how to limit the amount of cost that's involved with this, starting to limit and answer the questions to the higher-ups about why it's costing so much, charging you for the amount of stuff that's coming in, and asking you the question from, hey, this is very important, you don't want to not have this, you might need this later. My name is Eric Schabell. I live in Europe. I work for a company called Chronosphere. I'm the director of the technical marketing and evangelism team. Junior developer or an engineer. These are people that are hands-on building code. Observability has become something that's necessary because of the cloud. And when I talk to them about it, it's something new that you're adding into your code. They call this instrumentation. I'm always kind of curious about how a junior person handles that. And one of the things I think the first step you take is adding in just another library to do auto instrumentation. So automatically ensuring that your applications and your code that you're writing is emitting various metrics and traces and things that you want to do to collect. So telemetry, we call this. Into the senior stuff, it starts to hit that space where, okay, now the junior one has learned how to add in the very generic one that emits everything. He's able to turn it on, basically flip the switch. When you get to the senior level, you start looking now at how do I want to do a collection of only the things I'm interested in. And I'm listening to my business telling me, hey, I only want to know about these things. I want to know how many times a customer accessed this. I want to know how long it took to make a sale. It's not so much I'm interested in very specific low-level details about throughput and things like that. So they learn how to do, programmatic instrumentation and things like that. And you start looking at a larger scope of what's going on. And then you start running into the scales that you're seeing, the auto-scaling issues that result in a large, massive amount of telemetry coming your direction. These senior people are the ones that are in charge of trying to figure out how to limit the amount of cost that's involved with this, starting to limit and answer the questions to the higher-ups about why it's costing so much, and fighting the upstream battle basically with a lot of the vendors out there that are charging you for the amount of stuff that's coming in, and asking you the question from, hey, this is very important, you don't want to not have this, you might need this later. Where actually, if you can find the right kind of tooling and get the right kind of views of it, you're able to see that huge amounts of data is not touched by a developer, an ad hoc query, an alert. It's not being used in a dashboard, so why are you paying for this? That's kind of the direction you start going in. That's the challenges for a senior developer in the observability space, is having to deal with all these different things. One of the things that you're going to start noticing at that level is interaction with a new function. It's, the last couple of years it's gotten a lot of prominence. It's in the FinOps space, financial operations. You see the FinOps Foundation has become quite a thing. A lot of certifications are available around that. And this has a lot to do with getting, not so much about cost reduction. Nobody cares when I'm making this much money from a business if the observability space only costs this much, or if all the infrastructure costs this much. But when it starts going like this, then we have a problem. And the FinOps side, together with your C-level and the observability, is trying to get the most value out of each dollar that I'm actually spending. So if I can rein in some of the excess data cost, the excess I'm not using it, if you can identify that and properly integrate this from the beginning with your senior developers, with your junior developers, all through that supply chain, that it's a first-class citizen. Those are the people that are succeeding in these very large cloud environments. So we like to talk about born in the cloud companies. Think of things like DoorDash and Affirm and Robinhood, and they went through the pandemic and saw scale. An amount of scale happened that made them realize, hey, we need to step back and look at how this works and find better ways to leverage the data. You can find me at Schabell.org. Chronosphere is at chronosphere.io. You can also find me pretty much anywhere online. I've been doing an awful lot of technical marketing and developer evangelism for the last 20-some years. So Google my name.
Thank you for watching our video. If you want to learn more about Engineer Explains, click on one of these.